Welcome to Signal to Alpha, your essential morning market briefing. I'm Lady Muriel, cutting through the noise to deliver what moves markets today. Let's get you your alpha before the opening bell. Markets are reacting to extraordinary developments out of Venezuela, Washington, and the geopolitical landscape. Here's your executive summary. Trump's military operation captured Venezuelan dictator Nicolás Maduro, who now faces narco-terrorism charges in New York. This positions U.S. oil companies to potentially access the world's largest proven crude reserves, sending energy stocks higher. The administration froze over $10 billion in federal funding to 5 states over welfare fraud concerns. Meanwhile, Latin America is fracturing along ideological lines over the Venezuela operation, reflecting a broader regional rightward shift with major implications for trade and energy partnerships. Let's break down the Venezuela situation. Maduro and his wife were captured during overnight strikes in Caracas and transported to New York, where they pleaded not guilty to narco-terrorism charges. Interim President Delcy Rodriguez was sworn in, though experts warn she represents regime continuity with deep ties to Russia, China, and Iran. Trump announced U.S. oil firms will invest billions to rebuild Venezuela's infrastructure. With Venezuela holding the world's largest proven oil reserves, this creates significant opportunities for American energy companies. Energy and financial stocks led Monday's gains, with the Dow briefly crossing 49,000 for the first time. Capitol Hill remains sharply divided. Democrats argue the operation violated congressional war powers, with Senator Tim Kaine forcing a vote this week on a resolution blocking further military action. Republicans praise the operation as sophisticated and necessary, noting Canada, the European Union, and the U.S. don't recognize Maduro. Latin America's response reveals dramatic realignment. Argentina strongly backed the operation, calling it a blow against organized crime. Paraguay and Peru supported democratic restoration, but Brazil categorically rejected what it termed armed intervention. Mexico condemned it as violating the UN Charter. On the domestic front, the administration froze more than $10 billion in federal funding to California, Colorado, Illinois, Minnesota, and New York over concerns that benefits were diverted to noncitizens. The freeze affects $7.3 billion in TANF funding, $2.4 billion from child care development funds, and $869 million from social services block grants. Minnesota's fraud scandal, involving over 90 people, prompted Governor Tim Walz to abandon his reelection bid. Federal prosecutors estimate the fraud could exceed $1 billion and potentially reach $9 billion. Over 1,000 arrests have been made as 2,500 federal agents surged into the Twin Cities. Iran faces escalating protests across 78 cities amid economic collapse. The regime killed at least 20 people and arrested nearly 1,000. Iran announced $7 monthly payments to 80 million citizens as the currency lost half its value and inflation hit 42%. Trump warned Iran will get hit very hard if protesters are killed. Finally, contrarian analysis suggests bonds now present better opportunities than stocks or gold. Bond market sentiment sits at extreme pessimism, with only 15% of trading days since 2000 showing more negative sentiment. Stock market timers are at peak optimism. Contrarian investors see this divergence as opportunity. Bitcoin currently trades at $93,719. That's your signal to alpha for today. Subscribe for tomorrow's essential market briefing. Trade smart, stay informed. See you at the opening bell.